Hi Sagittarius, it's Nick. I hope you guys are doing good. It's for all my Sagittarians, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, men and women. We're now covering your weekly for September 12th to the 18th, as you can see below. And this week, what's going on astrologically in the sky? Well, we first got to mention that there are a lot of planets in retrograde right now, especially the outer planets like Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto, Saturn, even the asteroid Chiron, and not to mention Mercury that's also just went retrograde. So there's a lot of confusion, fog, it's misty, it's confusing. It's like everything's up in the air right now, okay? And not to mention this week, we also have a lot of oppositions and opposing energies in the sky, which being thrown in the mix just adds on to all the confusion. So specifically this week on the 16th, we have the Sun in Virgo opposing Neptune in Pisces. That is also in retrograde. And remember, we also have the Grand Earth trine, right? The Sun in Virgo, Uranus in Taurus, Pluto in Capricorn. So right now, reality and our life feels very real, and like we have to be really serious about this. And our life and what we're seeing seems to be at complete odds with our dreams, imagination, creativity, illusions, and it feels like so far out. Like right now we have to just focus on business, work, and get real, get practical. As soon as you turn on the TV, you see the news, it's all about inflation, the economy, recession, all this stuff. So it's like all in our face, you know? So it just may feel like right now we can't do certain things that we want to do, or we can't just like fantasize and dream. We have to be all like realistic, and it's just a phase though. It's just a transition, so we're not gonna always feel this way, but it may feel like that more so this week than at other times. And then on the 18th, we have Mercury in Libra, that's also in retrograde, opposing Jupiter in Aries, that's also in retrograde. And as you know, Libra and Aries are complete opposites. Libra is the relationship sign. Aries is the solo, initiator, I do it my way kind of sign. And Mercury in Libra being retrograde, it's like we're having a hard time relating our ideas and communicating and fixing our relationships. It's a little bit tougher right now than at other times, even though we want to. So our mind and our thoughts are about relating and helping and compromising and getting along. But Jupiter and Aries in retrograde is showing us that through our experiences in the past, and maybe experiences are going through right now that represent stuff that we went through in the past or repeating themselves, are showing us and proving to us that we got to do things on our own. We can't rely on others. We can't depend on others. We have to do things on our own and kind of rely on ourselves more so than other people. So right now we're at complete odds with what we're thinking and communicating versus our experiences. And so we may not know what we should do, because it's like I'm feeling this or I think this way, but then this is showing me otherwise. What do I do? We're being pulled in like two different directions. So if you start to feel this way, just know that it may not be entirely your fault, and we're all just kind of pushing through, and just hang on tight and just kind of enjoy the ride right now, because it just may feel like a really weird time. I've been feeling it. I'm sure maybe some of you are feeling it too. All right, so we're going to be covering a little bit of health, work, and love. I'll have a link to the extended reading below in the description box if you're interested afterwards. And of course, if you want to follow me on my Instagram or TikTok, it's Nicloves with 2 eyes. And let's get right into it. So we're starting with health, work, and then love. All right, so my lovely Sagittarians, when it comes to your health, it feels like you guys are doing really well. You seem to be eating good, looking good, taking care of yourself. Maybe you're indulging in some luxuries, buying yourself some really top-notch quality food, enjoying some, good self-care, buying yourself something nice, some perfume, cologne, or clothes, watch, hats, shoes, dresses, maybe investing in your beauty, your hair, your skin, your nails. It feels like you're thriving and you're taking care of yourself, and you're like doing whatever it takes to like look and feel your best. And you're glowing, and it feels like your body's really strong right now, and you seem to be in a really good place. So your health is looking really, really good, and you seem to be really strong right now, and you know what you need to do, what works for you. So whatever you've been doing, I would say continue it, keep doing. If it's working for you, keep doing it. Nothing that you need to change right now. And you're just being advised to like really continue doing what you're doing, take action, and I guess like keep moving your body and stay active. But I feel like you already know everything that you need to do, and whatever you're doing, again, is working for you. All right, and invest in yourself. I feel like this is a week where you may invest in yourself a little bit more, or this is the week to invest in yourself and your health and, working on your body as well. Okay. All right, and then when it comes to your work, school, career, and finances, this is a really powerful manifestation week for you guys. Maybe you're working on some DIY project, or you're like do-it-yourself kind of thing. I see you using a lot of different tools, resources around you to create something or create the life that you want, but you seem to be doing things solo, but you do it best when you do it alone. And that's when you're most creative. That's when you're most imaginative. And like right now, you're just like working your magic, you're making things happen. You know how to be creative. You know how to do things that other people don't do. And you have the courage, the bravery to start things that maybe other people are scared to do, or scared to like be the first ones to do. You're like, okay, I'll try it. I'll just learn as I go. And I think you learn a lot through trial and error and through your experiences. Sometimes you don't know what you're doing, but you're like, you know what? I'll just try it and do it, and I'll figure it out. So this week, I think you're doing a lot of manifestations, and you're working your magic, and there's a lot of stuff that's coming about or working out, and you're like, man, I don't even know how that happened, how that came out, but it turned out amazing. Like you're cooking something up, and you used the ingredients you had, you threw in something that you usually don't do and you usually don't use, and it turned out so good. You're like, man, am I a chef or what? I don't know how that happened. Or let's say you work with music and you had a good night, you're just feeling the vibe, the mood, and you made like a really good song. You're like, man, I wasn't expecting that, but it turned out really good. Or, anything that you do for work or money, it just feels like the more creative you are, the more like in your energy, in your zone, the better off the product, the results end up for you, especially this week. Okay? And expect magic and magical things, and a lot of like, whoa, okay, I didn't know how that happened, but it did. And just a lot of like unexplainable things that could be happening, but it's all from your doing, your actions, and your belief in yourself. Okay, so really, really good stuff. And then when it comes to your love, relationships, and dating, on your side, we have the Six of Pentacles, Page of Cups, and the Knight of Swords in reverse. Some of you can have Libra somewhere in your chart, maybe even water, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or air, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. And then on this other side, for this other person, this can be the past, present, or future situation, or all three, all the above. We have the World, King of Swords, if I can grab it, and the Five of Pentacles. So who could you be dealing with? It definitely could be an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, maybe even earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Doesn't have to be though, could be any sign. Like I always say to you guys, could just be the energy this person is embodying or playing out at this time, or maybe be a mixed match of one of those two signs. You may be the younger one in this connection, and this person may be older and a little more like good at communicating, but also not good at communicating, because they seem to run away when things that they're dealing with become a little too overwhelming for them, and they don't know how to like talk about it and just suck it up. So this person may have ghosted you, or stopped talking to you, or just suddenly like stopped responding, or just like switched up on you out of nowhere. And they did what they did not because of you. It wasn't anything that you did or your fault. It was really because of a deep-rooted insecurity. So it really had nothing to do with you, what they did, or how they reacted, or how they responded, or the fact that they didn't respond or ignored you. It had nothing to do with you. It was more like an inner insecurity about something that they were going through, that they felt like they had to deal with and go through alone. And maybe were too ashamed or embarrassed to talk about it or to bring it up, and thought it was just easier for them to separate, to detach, instead of be an adult and talk about it with you, address it. So you may have met this person on social media, the internet, dating apps. Again, sometimes social media and dating apps can be a little bit tricky, because you start talking to someone and you don't really know anything about them, and next thing you know, they disappear. Like they just never respond again, right? And social media dating apps can be a little bit tricky, and maybe you're starting to see that or realize that. That's like the whole point is to connect and have relationships, but it's like the opposite tends to happen. unless you get really lucky and meet a really good one. But this could be someone who's at a distance from you. Maybe they're from a different city, state, country, state, or you guys just met online, social media, dating apps. They could be a different ethnicity, race, culture, religion, speak a different language, look different than you. But there could have been distance. So you guys maybe didn't meet up in person, or you never actually like met in person, but you were just communicating online or whatever, or like texting, messaging. And for a little bit, it was going smoothly. You seem to have maybe some things in common, or they seem to, you guys got along really well, and it was going back and forth. It was pretty like, 50-50, and you were feeling kind of good about it, or feeling generous. So like, okay, yeah, like they seem to be responding, reciprocating the energy back. All right, like this is cool. Like it wasn't too extreme, it wasn't too little, it was just like just the right amount. And you were feeling it. And then you started to be a little bit sweeter, or you were giving them some compliments, and just as about you were about to say something really nice or sweet, nothing too extreme, nothing too crazy, you notice that maybe this person cuts you off, or you can't even message them anymore, or they ghosted you, or they blocked you or something. You're like, what? Like, I don't see their account, or I can't message them, I can't talk to them. And you're like, what happened? Like, what did I do? Or you did message them and they just never responded, or they never saw your message again. And you're like dumbfounded, because you're like, did I do something? Did I say something? Like, what happened? What the heck? Like, you're just left, why is this person being like this? Why all of a sudden they're so cold, or just ghosted me, or didn't give me an explanation? Last time it seemed like they were fine. It didn't seem like anything was wrong, or I didn't say anything wrong. And it was fine. There's nothing you did wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. It was really just them going through something personal in their life, maybe with work, school, career, or finances, that started to bring up some insecurities, and they just like decided to disconnect. It was nothing personal against you. They just were feeling like they needed to escape, and didn't know how to like talk to you about it. They were feeling shame, guilt, or embarrassment. This person may have like lost their job, or got laid off, or they're dealing with some financial loss, or something that they feel like they can only deal with alone, and they don't feel comfortable talking about it, especially if they just met you, or it's still kind of fresh in you. They don't feel comfortable in talking to you about it. But I feel like this person may have cut you off, or stopped talking to you, or whatever the case is, because of something happening financially, or with their career, the work, school, that they feel embarrassed about and didn't want to talk about, and brought up an insecurity. And you may be thinking that it's your fault, or you did something wrong, but it really had nothing to do with you. It's nothing personal against you, so please don't think that. It's just them not knowing how to deal with their feelings, their emotions, and things that are going on in their personal life. Okay, but you may be thinking like, oh my gosh, did I say the wrong thing, or did I act impulsively, or maybe should I reach out, or should I say something? Nah, don't do it. I know you might be tempted to be like, oh, what's wrong? Are you okay? Don't. It's okay. Let them be. They may come back around. We'll look into it in the extended, but don't make any impulsive moves. Just let things be how it is, because 9 times out of 10 they are probably going to feel bad about it, especially if you didn't do anything wrong, and maybe in the future or shortly after reach back to you. Okay, so let's continue on to the extended to get more information, to see where their energy is at. What are they thinking? What are they feeling when it comes to you? What they don't want you to know that maybe you should know, and what their next action move will be towards you, and also your advice. Okay, so we'll continue on to the extended. Link will be below. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. If not, I'll see you for our next reading. Take care. Bye.